Hey you guys, so I'm here. Ugh, I feel like I say the same thing every time. I'm so sorry. I'm here with a new video for you guys, and this is going to be my tips and tricks to get the perfect braid out or twist out, just pretty much any style that us naturals do, how to get it perfect every time. A lot of you are, have been telling me that you have trouble with your styles. It doesn't come out right. So hopefully these tips work for you. I actually wrote them down on a sticky note and they're in no order. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So the first tip is to twirl the ends of your hair. So when you do a braid out, a twist out, once you reach the end, you want to just twirl it around your fingers so that it has a nice curl at the end, and that also it will stay nice and in place. That's how I get my braid outs to look the way they do. A lot of you ask me, how did you get that curl at the end? I just literally twirled it around my fingers, because with braid outs, if you don't twirl the ends, it can just look straight, or you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, twirling the ends is good to keep it in place and also just give it that nice curl. Now my second tip is don't sleep on wet hair. Yeah, don't sleep on wet hair. This is something I have been telling a lot of people. Do not sleep on wet twists. Do not sleep on wet braids. You want to give yourself enough time to let your hair dry for a few hours so that it's, not wet when you're sleeping on it, because when you sleep on your wet twist or braids, when you wake up, they can be sticking up all over the place. They can unravel. So you just don't want to sleep on them while they're wet. I try to have my hair done by I would say 7 o'clock, and then I have a few hours before I go to bed, so they're not completely dry, but they're dry enough to the point where I'm not gonna have it messed up in the morning. So yeah, that is tip number 2. Now tip number 3 is kind of similar to number 2, but it's allow enough time for your hair to dry. I know a lot of us, we get lazy, we wait till the last minute right before bed, and then in the morning, our hair is still wet, and when you unravel, separate wet hair, pretty much it just frizzes up, and the style is ruined, and you're mad, and when I have a ruined style, like, I'm seriously so depressed. So yeah, I always give myself 12 hours for my hair to dry. So if I know I have to be up by, let's say, 7 o'clock in the morning the next day, then I make sure my twists or braids are done and completely, braided up and twisted by 7 p.m., the day before. So you just have to kind of do trial and error, see how long it takes your hair to dry. Now I will say, I think it takes my hair around maybe 10 hours to dry, but I like to have that extra, couple of hours just so it's completely dry. My next tip is to separate and fluff with caution. So if you guys have seen me fluff my hair, you know that I only pick at the roots. And if I'm picking, at the ends, I'm really careful. And the reason for this is you don't want to lose your definition. You want it to still have definition. And somebody asked me why I don't, put my wide tooth comb all the way through my hair. And if you put your comb all the way through your hair, it's going to poof up. That's why like I said, just stay at your roots so that you can have your definition and your style can last longer. Another tip is to not use too much product, and that's for 2 reasons. The first reason is because if you use too much product, it can completely weigh your hair down, and your hair is not going to come out the way you expected it. And just from experience, I've had that happen multiple times. I'm really heavy-handed with products, so now I know to just use a little bit at a time instead of using globs. And then the other reason is the more product you use, the longer it's going to take your hair to dry. Okay, so my last tip is to not over pick your hair on the first day. And my reason for that is if you're like me and you want to make your hair last the whole week, then picking your hair too much the first day can make it really hard to achieve like a 7-day look. For me, the first day, I usually don't pick too much. I just pick it enough where my volume is acceptable and over the course of the days, my hair just automatically gets bigger, so I don't really have to fluff as much. So this is a second day braid out, and I didn't really have to fluff or pick my hair that much. I think I just went through the roots right here in the back, and that was pretty much it. You can check out my how to maintain a braid out video to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, those are my tips for how to achieve a perfect braid out or twist out. It works for either or. These are the tips that I use to achieve my braid outs, and you guys seem to really love them. I really like them. They work for me, so hopefully one of these tips will work for you guys so you guys can achieve a really nice braid out or twist out if you've been struggling. And yeah, just go ahead and comment down below if you have any other questions. And if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one.